What the hell did we just watch? Is it shameless, guys, if I say remontada? Comeback kings. Honestly, guys, I can't make sense of what the hell has just happened over the course of 2 hours for Manchester United. I have to double check. 5-4. 5-4. Manchester United 5, Lyon 4. That makes it 7-6 on aggregate. Lyon with a man down. Man United 2-0 up, then 4-2 down. It's a madness. 3 goals in 6 minutes. We got so much to talk about. So make sure you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you're new here. Let's start with, I will say, obviously the big conversation is the Harry Maguire winner. And you know what? I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him because off the back of, what has not been an easy career at Manchester United for him, it seems like when the games have needed him to play as this number 9, we've seen Erik Ten Hag do it. We've seen Ruben Amorim do it quite a few times as well. He delivers with a goal, and today, just massive. Literally. Like the goal, his head, everything. Massive goal for Manchester United. Probably, I would say, him, Kobbie, Bruno have kept Manchester United's season alive. And it's the big difference between 80-something million pounds, guys, financially for Manchester United to get into the Champions League and not getting into the Champions League. It's a big financial factor, and you already know, I think the summer transfer windows to come will depend on that. I have to speak about, for me, probably one player that I felt like didn't have much impact despite the fact that he tried to get into the game and maybe the deliveries weren't there for him and the opportunities weren't there for him, was Rasmus Hojlund. I've seen Harry Maguire do more playing up front in a couple of games than I've seen from Rasmus Hojlund over his time, or just specifically even this season or the last 12, 16 or so months. I'm not sure where the future lies for him, I'll be honest. But I don't think the future is at Manchester United for him, genuinely speaking. I came into this game so sceptical, so nervous about the fact that, Manchester United only had Rasmus Hojlund and Alejandro Garnacho to play in the front line. I was so worried about that, so nervous about that. Harry Maguire and Mainoo told me, don't be. We got this. But I am also quite sceptical going into the next couple of games. I think it's safe to say there is absolutely nothing in the Premier League for Manchester United, bar maybe fitness. But with the way that Man United players have been getting injured, I don't even know if Ruben Amorim wants to risk it consistently for the players. Now, I think the next round, the semi-finals, is the last week of April. So next week there's no midweek games. There's no Europa League games. So it'll just be Premier League game this weekend, followed by the following weekend, and then it will be the game against Athletic Club, which will not be an easy one. Manchester United don't like easy, clearly, though. They like to make things difficult for themselves. They love a good storyline, and they like to be the main characters. Big shout out. Big shout out to Casemiro, man. Honestly, immense today. 2 assists, obviously winning that penalty as well. That delivery in for that Maguire goal, I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. The layoff for the Kobbie Mainoo goal, I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. Immense. And on the topic of Kobbie Mainoo, I mean, we've seen that goal, man. Wolves, Liverpool. As soon as he kind of chopped the player and took the touch to his right foot, I said bottom corner. I knew it was going in. And I was so happy, bringing out the Xerxes celebration as well. I know that him and Xerxes apparently have a good relationship as well, so it's like it's quite poetic. He's paying homage to Xerxes with that celebration, given the fact that Xerxes did come up big in the last game for Manchester United, despite the fact that Onana mistake led the game to being 2-2. But there was like 60 seconds, guys, 60 seconds between the Mainoo goal and the Maguire goal, and I'm so happy they did not keep their foot off the gas. But I would be lying if I said it was all roses, guys. I would be lying if I said it's all roses. Because if you think back to the first half, firstly, Man United 2-0 up, should be 3 or even maybe 4. That moment from Alejandro Garnacho on goal, he has to put that away. And had Manchester United gone out today, I think we would be talking about that moment that Alejandro Garnacho does the hardest part. He does the hardest part right for once. He beats his player in a foot race, gets the better of him, chops him, puts him on the floor, 1v1 with the keeper and hits it straight at the keeper. You have to do better there. And I've said this time and time again. I've said this last season. I'm going to say it again this season. Alejandro Garnacho, when shooting at goal, he is very unconventional. You look at previous players that United have had. You know, Rashford, Martial, you know, Cavani, great striker. You think about those players and their ability to strike a ball very well. Garnacho does not have that trait. So he can do the hardest part. But when he comes in front of the goal, it's suddenly like he's got no power and no strength behind a shot. And a lot of the time, it might not be the most testing of chances. I think that moment there is literally the difference maker. Had Manchester United gone out today, we would be sitting here berating Alejandro Garnacho for that chance. And I'm still going to be, you know, I'm going to have my foot on his neck because those kind of moments are the difference makers. But equally with saying that, United should not be throwing away a 2-goal lead to 10 men and going 4-2 down and making it difficult for themselves. Yes, Old Trafford. This is maybe what I don't want to take the piss, guys, excuse my language, but maybe this is what Real Madrid fans thought they were getting at the Bernabeu last night, because Man United made it difficult for themselves. They made it difficult for themselves. And I think had the results turned out different tonight and, you know, we weren't sitting here laughing and smiling and saying, wow, this is football, this is Manchester United, this is what we're about, I think the conversation surrounding Ruben Amorim would have been very different. Honestly speaking, I think it would have been very, very different. But Manchester United lived to see another day. And you know what, guys? I'm going to be dead honest. Dead honest. Ryan Cherki, I've seen enough. 25 million. If that's legit his price tag with Lyon's financial problems, bring him to Old Trafford. Whether he's going to be a starter for us, whether he's going to be a squad player, I don't care. But I've seen enough of Ryan Cherki to know that he is a talented player. And excuse me, I hate when people just look at the stat sheet and say, oh, he didn't do anything. Across both legs, I think he was influential for Lyon, just in different ways. You know, his goal, some people might argue Onana should do better there. And I'm not going to lie, guys, Onana, I mean, conceding this many goals across 2 legs is one thing, yeah. But when United went 2-0 up, did you have to taunt the Lyon fans? Given the fact that United then went 4-2 down. I don't know. It's just me thinking out loud, guys. Because that was the first thing. When I saw him taunting the Lyon fans after the first or second goal, I just thought, Onana, I hope that does not come back to bite you. Or bite us. And it nearly did. It nearly did. But Manchester United lived to see another day. There are some question marks on some performances tonight, guys. I'm not going to lie. Patrick Dogu for the second goal. Sleeping. You know, in that entire backline, I would say for me, Maguire was immense. You know, the only player in the starting 11 that's probably played in the back, in the middle, and up front throughout 120 minutes. Dalot had a good game. Bruno Fernandes, where would we be without him? Where would we be? Bruno Fernandes, guys, I'm sorry. Respect him. We want to talk about problems at Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes don't need to be a topic of discussion for that. But shout out to Casemiro. Shout out to everyone because, you know, it was a team effort. Mason Mount, Kobbie Mainoo, glad to see him back in that false 9 role as well. And like I said, had the results turned out different, we'd be sitting here having different conversations. We'd be talking about that Garnacho miss. We'd be talking about Onana. We'd be talking about Ruben Amorim's in-game management. Because let's be honest, when Lyon started to get into the game, especially in the latter stages of the second half, I felt like a change should have come, and eventually it did, despite the fact it was towards, you know, the end of the second half. But I just felt like the momentum was shifting in Lyon's way, and Man United had no answer for that. They had no control of the game, no control of possession, no control of the moment. You know, I always say this, you know, Manchester United sometimes, you know, they have to play the game, not the occasion. And this was probably one of those games. I know on paper it looks amazing, but please, Man United, don't do this again to me. Please. Because I don't think my heart can handle this. I went through the 6 stages of grief tonight, guys. Did you? Let me know if you did. I went through the 6 stages of grief. I laughed at some point. I was nearly on the verge of tears. I was frustrated. I was annoyed. I was unbothered. I went through the 6 stages of grief. Manchester United, please, make things easy for yourself. Let me know what you guys thought about the game. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Do you think Man United can do it? Can they go all the way and win the Europa League? Let me know down below.